Okay, here we are at easybib.com. That's how you get here. Where I'm going to show you how to do your citation or your works cited page. And so this is where we're going to start, easybib.com. Before you can do this, you have to have your blue and green bib sheets. Make sure they're all completed and they're ready to go in front of you, because you're going to be taking the information from those sheets and plugging them into this program so that you can make your citations. So if you look at the first page of Easybib, the home page, you'll notice that there's this blue box in the center, this blue search box. You're going to ignore this search box right here, but you're going to pay attention to these tabs at the top. It starts with website, where you're going to be using that for any website you got from the works or from the class projects page. You're going to be using book for anything you got on paper. So any encyclopedia, any reference book, or any regular book that you used, all goes under book. You're also going to be using database right here. That's for SIRS or eLibrary. The rest of them you're probably going to ignore. So those are the three tabs you want to pay attention to. I'm going to start by doing a book for you so that you can see how it works. When you click on book, the next thing you're going to do is click on manual entry. You must click manual entry. Do not worry about the search box. It's going to take you to a page that looks like this, and it will give you some boxes below to fill in. This is the one you really want to pay attention to, this one called citing. As a default, it goes to the whole book. You probably don't want to cite your whole book, though. You probably want to cite just a part of your book. Most of us used reference books, and you only read a part of the book. So you're going to go here to chapter section, and you're going to choose that. When you go to chapter or section, then it's going to reload the page, and it will give you a box for just writing the chapter or section title. So let's say, for example, that I read an article in a book called Architect. And so I'm going to type it in my box, and then I'm going to leave this as it is. I'm going to put my source author right here. And then I'm going to put the title of my book here. I'm going to, you didn't have to have the volume, edition, or series, so you can leave those blank. I'm going to put the publisher, call it Rosen in Chicago, and the year or 2012. We didn't have page numbers, so we're going to leave that blank, and we're going to create our citation. When we do that, there it is. It appears with our author's name, title of the article we read, title of the book, city, publishing company, year, and then it tells us it's a print source. Okay? When you're finished with that, then you can go ahead and go to your next source. We're going to try a database next. Let's pretend we used a database. We're going to, when you go to database, you click on the database tab, you get this pull-down menu in the center. This is really important. This pull-down menu, you've got to pull down and you've got to choose one of these. If you don't do this right, you're not going to get the boxes you need. You have to choose one of these here as your original source. Here's how you figure this out. You got to go to your green sheet under database, and where it says original source, that is the place where the article was originally published before it was put in the database. What kind of original source is that? Now, when you look at that original source, you might know what it is. So, for example, if it's National Geographic, you'll probably know that's a magazine. If it's New York Times, you probably know that's a newspaper. If it's Career World, a lot of them are, that's a magazine. Oops. Career World, darn it. Sorry about that. Career World is a magazine article. And if it is, if you had Compton's by Britannica, then you're going to choose encyclopedia article. Let's do one of those. Let's pretend it's an encyclopedia article. And let's say we looked up the encyclopedia article is Architect. And Compton's by Britannica doesn't have author, so we're going to leave that blank. We do know the title, though. We could put Compton's by Britannica in there. We're going to leave all this blank. We're going to leave our publisher blank. We know only that it was Compton's from the database. And then we're going to put our database name. Now, if you put eLibrary in here, notice this list comes up. You have to choose from a list of eLibrary choices. eLibrary Elementary is the one you want. If you are putting SIRS in here, then the choices are these, and you're going to choose Discoverer. Let's pretend I got this from Source Discover. I'm going to put that in there. I accessed it on the 15th of April this year. It has to be the current year. It was just this month that we were in the lab. This is the day, of course, that you found it, right? We didn't have a URL for our database, and so we're just going to go ahead and create. And we get ourselves another citation we made. Notice it has the title, the original source. It has the database I used, and the date I found it. That's important. Okay, let's pretend I'm going to do a website now. I'm already clicked on website, so I can leave it here. Now I have to go to manual entry. When you go to manual entry for a website, under source type, this is very important. Leave this exactly as it is. Do not change it. Leave it just like this. Your article title is the page that you went to. That is what you looked up. Let's pretend I called it Architects. And I was using the Occupational Outlook Handbook. So it didn't have an author. It does have a website title. For most of you, when I checked your bib sheets, if you wrote the wrong thing down, I corrected this. I corrected it if you didn't have Occupational Outlook Handbook as the title. Many of you use the Bureau of Labor Statistics. If you have the Bureau of Labor Statistics written down, I want you to put it here under Publisher Sponsor. And then you can put the URL, which is www.bls.gov, I believe. The address you want to click Yes, Display URL, because we want to be able to see that. We don't have a day and month of publication for the Occupational Outlook Handbook, but we do have a year, and it's up to date, so we're going to put this year. We're going to put, again, the day we found it. Let's say it was the 14th of April this time. And then we're going to create our citation. There's our third citation. Now look at, if I scroll down, you can see that what it's been doing is listing all my citations below here. Now, I did a couple of these before I started this video. So I had already accumulated a few others on the list. So let's say I'm done with all my sources now. One of the things you want to make sure you do, just to make sure, go to Sort Order Alphabetize. Make sure all your sources are in alphabetical order, and it will do that for you. Once you've done that, then you should go to Export or Print. Print is a Word doc. Okay. If you are on a home computer, you might have a Mac and you might have a PC. I have a Mac at home, so this is the window that comes up. If you have a PC, a different looking window comes up. But in any case, it's asking you, do you want to open the file? And I'm saying, yes, I do want to open it. I want to open it with Microsoft Word. You probably want to do that if you have Word on your computer at home. If you don't, you need to open it in any text program that you use, any typing program you use. So I'm going to click OK. And then it is going to open up there it is. There's my page. So here we have it. All of my sources are listed there. What you'll notice is that we have a hanging indent, which means that the second line is indented instead of the first. It's like the opposite of a regular indent. That's the way it should be. And you'll notice it's all in alphabetical order. And you'll notice also that Works Cited is written at the top of the page, just like it should be. You'll want to go ahead and proofread this. If you happen to write, misspell architect, or you misspell bureau, or you misspelled some other word in here, then you're going to end up with misspelled words on your Works Cited page. So you'll need to fix it here, okay? You'll need to fix it here. Once you've fixed it, and you know everything is in good shape, and it's just as you want it, then you're going to go to File Save As. When you go to File Save As, you're going to notice that the file name is really weird. It's going to be crazy. It's got all these numbers and stuff on it. When Easybib gives it a file name, it's pretty crazy. Delete that and give it a file name that you recognize. Career Works Cited. I'm going to save mine in Word, and I'm going to save it in a file that I keep my school stuff in. Okay, so I have my school file I'm going to open, and then I'm going to save it in my school file. And there I have it. It's saved for good. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and type them in Edmodo, and I'll get back to you if you need help, or come and see me tomorrow or whenever you need to. Good luck!